What's going on, everybody? This is Sean from Gen 4 Technology, and today I'm going to be giving you a quick rundown on how to install and add a device to the X-VMS software for our X series products. So if you're not in front of your computer, go ahead and get in front of it now. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our website, which is going to be www.g4direct.com. Once you're at our website, you're going to go ahead and go to Help and Support. You're going to go to the option Knowledge Base. You're going to scroll down, and under the XVR and X Series resources, you're going to select the software option and extend that out. Select the NVR XVR software and click on it. Scroll down and you'll see the first two options is going to be a Windows client version and a Mac client. So go ahead and select whatever system you're working with. In our case, we're going to be using a Windows. It's going to go ahead and download the software. So let's go ahead and wait for that to download, and then we'll run through how to install it real quick. Alright, now that it's downloaded, we're going to go ahead and right click on the download and go to Show in Folder. We're going to right click on the zipped up installation file, and we're going to select Extract here or wherever you want to extract it. And then once it's extracted, we're going to open the unzipped folder and run the install for that software. So I'll ask you, do you want to allow this app? We're going to hit yes. And then I'm just going to breeze through these. If you want to read through or change where these directories are going to go, you can do so. But in my case, I know where everything's set up as it should, so I'm just going to next through all of this. And then select install. And then once it's done, we're going to hit finish, and it's going to launch the VMS by default. You can uncheck this if you don't want it to, but generally you're going to want that to launch. So I'm going to hit finish, and it's going to automatically launch the software. So now that it's launched, it's going to bring you to the initialization screen. Firstly, we're going to have to give the software itself a password. So this is just the password to get in the software itself. It has nothing to do with your actual NVR or XVR. This is just to get into the software itself. So I'm just going to give it a basic password. And then you can also check in this auto login after registration, so you don't have to always put that in. So I'm going to check that in and then select next. Next is going to give you some security questions. Typically, I do recommend answering these as you would see fit. I usually just put a basic password in here because if you ever forget the password to get into the software itself, security questions are going to be how you reset it. So make sure you fill something in here that you're going to remember. And I usually put just the same word, general word, so I don't mix up spelling or some sort of issue on this step. And then we're going to select finish. This will prompt us to the X-VMS software live view page. As of right now, we have no devices added, so let's go ahead and run through how to add a device. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the home page, so go ahead and select this little home icon top left. We're going to go to Device Management and click on it. And then there's two ways I'm going to show you how to add a device. The first is doing an auto search when you're hooked to the local network, so the same network your NVR is connected to. If your computer's on that, you can do an auto search here, right? So if I go to auto search, this tab right here, and then I hit search, it's going to find any device that's X series on the network I'm connected to. So as you can see, I have a bunch of different options here. I'm going to go ahead and select our NVR demo. So we're just going to put a check mark in the box, and then we're going to hit add on the bottom right corner. This is going to prompt up a username and password field. So here you're going to put in the actual username and password for the DVR itself. This isn't the software login credentials. This is for the DVR itself. So fill those in and then hit add. Once you hit add, you're going to go back to all equipment, and assuming you input everything correctly, the status will show green. If this doesn't show green, highlight over it, and generally it's going to tell you what you input incorrectly. Next, I'm going to run through how to add a device for remote access, and this is going to be typically using your P2P ID. So what you want to do is you want to go to the top right corner here, and you're going to hit the plus sign. And this is going to prompt you to where you can manually add a device. So the first thing it's going to ask for is a device name. This is just what you're going to want to call it in the software itself. It really doesn't matter what you put here. So I'm just going to put G4 Demo 2. Login type, I'm going to change this to ID for my P2P ID. And then ID field is where I'm going to fill in that P2P ID. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in real quick. Protocol, it's going to be grayed out. We're going to leave that as private. HTTP port, we're going to set to 80 unless you changed your HTTP port. If you did, update this to whatever you changed it to. And then user and password is going to, again, be the user and password for the DVR itself. So I'm going to fill that in. I'm going to hit add. And it's going to be the same process. Once it's online, it will show a status of green. And once it's green, you're good to view your cameras via live view and playback, as well as configuration. So let's go over real quick live view and playback. So to view your live view cameras, you're just going to click on this main view option, top corner. You're going to extend out the root group, select the DVR that you want to view, and you can extend those out. You can either select the DVR and drag it as a whole to pull up all of your cameras, or you can select cameras one by one and just drag them over to the box you want to put them in. So that covers live view. Next is how do you use playback. So to use playback, what you're going to do is you're going to go back to the home page here. You're going to go to the playback option and select it. And it's really the same thing as the live view. You're going to extend out your root, extend out the MVR, and then select the cameras that you want to review playback for. So I'll just do channel 1 and channel 2 here. You have your calendar down here to where you can select what date you want to review. I'll just leave it on today's date. And then if you want to filter it, if you set up some sort of special recording mode like by event or AI, you can actually go in and filter by those options. I'm just going to leave it on all and then hit the option search here. Once I hit search, you'll see it will pull up the recording for that day and it will fill in the bar. The colors depict what kind of recording it is. So green would be just constant timed recording, 24/7 recording. Blue would be some sort of AI recording, and then yellow is motion. If you want to play the clips, all you're going to do is you're going to select the box. So window 1, hit play, and then it will play your footage. If you want the playback to be synchronized, if you have multiple cameras, make sure you click this synchronize play button so it actually plays them at the same time frame and you're not looking at different times via those playback recorded files. Alright, and last but not least, we're going to run over where you can go to configure your device when you're at the location or your remote via the software. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your device management tab up here at the top. You're going to go to the device you want to configure settings for, and to the far right here you'll see a bunch of different icons. One of them is a little gear icon. If you highlight over it, it will say remote parameter. So we're going to click on remote parameter. It's going to pull up a page, and within that page you're going to see every option that you would see on the MVR hooked directly to an MVR and allow you to configure those options. So if you have any sort of image settings you want to change, record settings, AI, alarm, event, networking, storage, you can do this all locally or remote from the software itself. That wraps up this video. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel for future content, and have a nice rest of your day.